Everything could have started with a simple payment, but tonight was destined to be far from ordinary. In our marriage, there was one rule: avoid the mundane. Matt and I had been together for years, and we always found ways to keep our relationship exciting and fresh. Today, a broken air conditioner would become the start of an unforgettable story. When the repairman arrived, everything seemed quite ordinary. He was in his late 30s, with a calm confidence that was hard to miss. Matt, as usual, made his playful jokes, and I smiled, as I often did. The repairman focused on his work, and soon the annoying hum from the air conditioner stopped. As he packed up his tools, I caught Matt's gaze. It was a look I recognized instantly: playful, mischievous, and brimming with excitement. He didn't need to say a word. His eyes asked a question that made my heart race. After a brief pause, I tilted my head slightly and smiled. "Why not?" I replied. That was all he needed. Matt turned to the repairman and said, "Why don't you stay a little longer?" His tone was casual, but it carried a subtle suggestion. The repairman looked at Matt in confusion, then glanced at me, his gaze meeting mine. For a moment, I saw hesitation in his eyes, but as I took a step closer, his expression began to change. His hands were still on his toolbox when I gently touched his arm and, in a soft but warm voice, said, "We'd like to thank you for the work you've done today." My words broke the tension in the room, creating a calm that replaced the initial awkwardness. Matt stayed quietly in the background, observing without a word. The repairman seemed to understand as the moments passed. His gaze lingered on mine, and the unease in his movements slowly gave way to something more relaxed. As the distance between us closed, the air in the room shifted. This wasn't rushed or hurried. Everything happened naturally, at its own pace. The first touch was gentle, careful. When his hand moved slightly toward my waist, it felt like a silent agreement between us, unspoken yet understood. The experience was unlike anything I had expected, but being in the moment felt surprisingly liberating. For a brief moment, I glanced at Matt. He remained in the corner, watching without a word. His silence spoke volumes. It was his way of supporting the moment, giving it the space to unfold naturally. Nothing felt out of place, and no explanations were needed. The repairman's movements grew more confident. His actions carried a subtle care, every touch deliberate yet unhurried. The atmosphere in the room was no longer defined by words, but by an unspoken rhythm that everyone seemed to understand. This was more than just a fleeting moment. It felt intentional, like a story we were all writing together. As the night continued, the energy in the room shifted entirely. This wasn't just an isolated event. It was a deliberate connection that unfolded with a quiet understanding. Matt's silent presence brought balance to the moment, reminding me of the trust we had built over the years. This wasn't just a new experience for me. It was also a discovery for Matt, a reflection of the freedom and mutual respect that made our marriage unique. Every moment carried meaning, and the night became a vivid reminder of how deeply connected we truly were. That night wasn't just about pushing boundaries. It was also a testament to how far we could go together, grounded in trust and understanding. It showed us that our bond was more than just love. It was an exploration of life's possibilities. Matt's peaceful expression was all the reassurance I needed that this was the right thing for us. Every couple has their own way of navigating their relationship. Ours was built on friendship, adventure, and a shared sense of curiosity. That night reminded us, once again, that we could step beyond the ordinary and find joy in the unexpected.